Even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, well, I think he has 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce.
But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate.
Again, it didn't happen in that way. It happened we were using our art almost like a therapy session, and we started making music together. And then the music she was making at that time was further along, so her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on.
Even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that as, say, the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 16, 17 Grammy since he's been with Beyonce. But what I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time, so they together. But they living separate again, it didn't happen in that way. It happened we were using with our art, almost like a therapy session. And we started making music together, Emmett. And then the music she were making at that time was further along, so her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on. Y'all, you know how 50 Cent never shies away from stirring the pot. Well, he's done it again. And this time the target is none other than the power couple of rap, Jay-Z and Beyonce. Yeah, you heard me right. Just recently, 50 Cent dropped a bombshell suggesting that Jay-Z's marriage to Queen Bey might not be as rock solid as we all thought. And let me tell you Jay-Z's reaction. Well, he's just pissed. So gentlemen, if you're ready to unpack some juicy gossip and get the lowdown on why Jay-Z's fuming, stick around, because we're about to dive deep into this whirlwind of drama that's got everyone talking. So for those of you who don't know, let me fill you in. So you know how everyone's always talking about Jay-Z's impressive Grammy wins. Well, 50 Cent, the man behind QNIT, recently shared his thoughts on it all in a super interesting interview for XL's 20th anniversary issue. In this chat, 50 Cent dives into how Jay-Z's Grammy success might have a lot to do with his relationship with Queen Bey herself, Beyonce. According to Fifth, Jay-Z's Grammy collection didn't really start piling up until he and Beyonce got together back in the early 2000s. He's like, hey, have you ever noticed how Jay-Z's Grammy shelf started filling up around the same time he and Beyonce became a power couple? 50 breaks it down further, pointing out that before Bey came into the picture, Jay-Z had just one Grammy to his name. But once they joined forces, suddenly he's got like 16 or 17 of those shiny trophies. So basically 50 Cent's saying that the Beyonce effect might have played a big role in boosting Jay-Z's Grammy count. It's like, before B he was doing all right, but after hooking up with her, his Grammy game went through the roof. And you know he might not be wrong, like I'm not taking sides. But if we were to ask 50 for his justification, he would just tell us to look at the rapper track record. And I did some digging for you guys, all right, so let's take a closer look at Jay-Z's Grammy journey to see if 50-50 Cent's theory holds water. Back in 199 Jay scored a Grammy for Best Rap Album with his LP VA2 Hard Knock Life. But here's where it gets interesting. After that win, there's a bit of a dry spell until 2004. Yup, it took about 6 years for Jay to snag another Grammy. And guess what? It happened right around the time he and Beyonce dropped their collab hit Crazy in Love, which won them Best R&B Song. Coincidence? Maybe not. Since then, Jay's Grammy cabinet has been overflowing, adding a whopping 22 more Grammy wins to his collection. It's like once he and Beyonce teamed up, the Grammy floodgates opened wide for him. So it seems like 50 Cent might be onto something here. The Beyonce effect seems to have had a major impact on Jay-Z's Grammy success. And that's not all that he said. He also added, you see, Jay and Beyonce's kids already have Grammys. They don't sing, yet they don't sing, they don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and underscore. So they say give them this trophy so we can secure that they're coming to the awards show in association. Like you see the kids even have Grammy. Like they don't sing, yet they don't sing right, they don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys, so it's like they give this D this trophy. So we secured it they're coming to the worship. It meant that much to the culture, they just gave them the things he continued, suggesting that the recognition the Carter family receives might not always be entirely earned. Adding to his critique, Fifth didn't hold back in slamming the Grammys for snubbing him at the 2004 award ceremony. Despite racking up an impressive 5 nominations, thanks to his groundbreaking debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying in 2003, he was notably absent from the event. Reflecting on the experience, he remarked later on people might look back and give recognition to those achievements. But at the time I was like, forget it. I didn't need the trophy to validate my success. So what if they didn't award me Best New Artist? I mean, I moved 13 million records with the biggest debut in hip-hop history, and fans agree that this could be a sham marriage. One person wrote on X, lol, someone said they've lost respect for Beyonce for staying with Jay-Z. You think they were all in the marriage together? Or she asked, lol, another added Jay-Z was able to keep his marriage. Because Beyonce knows of his secret affairs, there's a belief among some folks that Jay-Z is fully aware of the impact Beyonce has had on his career trajectory. In fact, there are whispers that he doesn't hesitate to call out individuals who might be seeking to ride on Beyonce's coattails for their own personal gain. It's almost as if he acknowledges that Beyonce's influence played a pivotal role in shaping his success, and he's quick to address anyone who might not recognize that he even called out the Academy recently for her. Did you catch Jay-Z's speech at the Grammys? The other day, he didn't hold back in calling out the Recording Academy for snubbing his wife Beyonce. It really brought attention to how Black artists often get overlooked at these big award shows. Greg Kerr, a professor over at Howard University, hit the nail on the head when he said that the music industry has a history of excluding Black voices, even though things have supposedly changed. He argues that Black music is still kind of packaged in a way that downplays the contributions of Black artists themselves. And then during Jay-Z's acceptance speech for the Deirdre Global Impact Award, he really drove this point home. It's like he was saying, hey, we see what's going on here. And he wasn't about to let it slide. We love y'all, we want you all to get it right. He said, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than anyone and never won Album of the Year, so even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. But all of that aside, 50 Cent isn't the only one to come up with doubts about this dude's marriage. Even B's own sister has opinions about Jay-Z. Actually, Noam, I really limit what he can have access to now. If there's one thing we've learned about Solange, it's her apparent lack of enthusiasm for Jay-Z. Ever since the infamous elevator incident, where she attempted to confront Jay-Z, it's been clear she harbors some resentment towards him. Not only does she dislike him, but she's also not fond of his marriage to Beyonce. Finally, after several years, she's opening up about the reality of their relationship. And let me tell you, it's shocking. While rumors about Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage have circulated for some time, Solange's recent revelations offer a fresh perspective. Let's rewind and delve into the early days of their union. When Beyonce said, I know that Jay and I probably do inspire people, and I appreciate people feeling proud, but this is the only way I've been able to stay sane. So why would I start talking now? Not speaking controls your brand. It controls what you want to put out there and kind of forces people to talk about what you want them to talk about. Well, it's not what it looks like. So according to Solange, Beyonce's big reason for keeping her marriage under wraps is because she doesn't want folks to see just how messy or toxic things can get. And let's face it, we've all heard whispers about Jay-Z's wandering eye throughout their marriage. But get this, insider info spilled recently, claiming he was stepping out on Bey even before they tied the knot. Apparently one of his many flings was with a woman named Olivia McFall. And guess what? She's one of the rare few, if not the only one, who's openly talked about Jay-Z's advances while he was still dating Beyonce. Wild, right? For the most part, Jay hit me on some I will reach you. When I'm in town, he wanted you to be his girl Friday. He want me to be growing account. It seems like there's quite a bit of drama surrounding Olivia's interactions with Jay-Z, and Solange. Olivia's account suggests that she initially resisted giving Jay-Z her number when his bodyguard asked for it, but later they exchanged numbers when they ran into each other again in Miami. However, Solange caught them in what Olivia describes as a potentially compromising situation. Olivia's story implies that Solange's presence and reaction played a significant role in her decision to distance herself from Jay-Z. It seemed she was intimidated by Solange's protective demeanor toward her sister Beyonce. This encounter seems to have influenced Olivia's perception and perhaps contributed to her decision to end whatever interaction she had with Jay-Z. It's understandable why some people might doubt Olivia's claims, especially given the high-profile nature of the individuals involved and the potential for rumors and speculation without more concrete evidence. It's challenging to determine the full extent of what transpired between Olivia, Jay-Z, and Solange. So Solange has caught Jay-Z red-handed cheating on Beyonce multiple times. And if we're looking for a reason behind her dislike for him, well, that would be reason enough. We all know Solange loves Beyonce like crazy, just as any sister should enough to even physically confront Jay-Z in an elevator. In a statement addressing the incident, they said in light of the public release of the elevator security footage from